Hi there, Doug Grady, and this is a video to support anyone who has already plugged in for 40 days of focus. If you're considering plugging into 40 days of focus, or if you might even want to do the program on your own as a form of some sort of resolution or discipline at any time of the year. These are some of what I call the criteria of choice. Sometimes I sign my book with these two words, choose powerfully. So I want to give you what I call 6 criteria of choice as it relates to 40 days of focus, and I believe even in a broader context how it might relate to a choice of discipline in your life period. Number 1 is this. Well, first, let me just give you a broad spectrum question. Choice begins with a question. The question is, what am I not doing that if I did it every day for an X amount of period of time, in this case 40 days, would have a significant impact on the course of my life? So that being the question, that immediately brings a couple of things to mind, the first of which is the first criteria. 1, it's got to be something you are not currently doing. This may be obvious, but I've had people say, well, I'm exercising every day, I'll just make that my choice. If you really want to dumb it down and get a little silly, somebody might say, I'll get out of bed every day, I'll take a shower every day. You know, this is just something you're not doing that if you did it would have a significant impact on your life. So number 1 is something you're not doing. Number 2 is that if you do it, who is that? That's you. So number 2 is it's got to be a personal choice. And personal really means a couple of things. Number 1 is it's close to your core. Something that is a part of you. When you think about the person that you are, the person you're becoming, the person that you want to be, what are some of the things that sort of rise to the surface? It may be prayer and meditation. It may be journaling. In my case, it was exercise. It may be reading. It may be quality time with an important person in your life. Make sure it's a personal choice on the first level, that it comes from your core. And implied with that is that it's not given to you by somebody else. Somebody else doesn't say, hey, this should be your choice. Check it with yourself personally. Does it resonate with you? Is it congruent with who you are, with who you're becoming? So 1 is it's got to be close to your core here when it comes to personal. And secondly, with personal, it's got to be something that comes from you. Again, maybe these are implied. I just want to make sure they're explicit as it relates to you. One of the biggest questions people ask before they plug into this program, even in their resolutions, are, what is the choice I'm going to make? I don't know how I'm going to make this choice. What are some of the criteria for the choice? So my intention here is to get you clarified on the criteria of choice. Number 1, something you're not doing. Number 2, a personal choice that comes from your core and that it comes from you. No one else gives it to you. Number 3, and this is how the back of the book, the subtext of the ripple effect is one simple line. It's one simple choice can change the course of your life. So we begin here, number 3, with 1. There is tremendous power in one simple choice. So 1 means you focus your energy over this 40-day period, or whatever time you designate if you're doing this on your own. You focus on one area. It doesn't mean you won't be doing other things, but this is the one that you'll focus on to create ripples and create breakthroughs in every area of your life. It's not 3, it's not 5, it's not 2, it's not 10 steps to success or 7 habits of highly effective people. It's focusing on one simple choice for this designated period. So choose 1. Next criteria here is simple. So let's look at this thing called simple. What does that mean? Well, my choice was exercise, and I've had people in this program say, okay, here's my choice. I'm going to do 100 push-ups a day, 200 sit-ups a day, 30 pull-ups a day, and 2 miles of running every day, or something to that effect. Well, first of all, somebody might say that's more than one choice. I would say, just on a broader spectrum, it's not simple. Make it very simple. My choice initially was 30 days of exercise for 30 consecutive days. Ended up being 79 something odd days in a row. But make it very simple so you can explain it in, I would say, less than 5 or 6 words, and someone else knows what you're talking about. Read 20 minutes a day. No caffeine. Less than 2 hours of television every day. Something to that effect. Make it simple, understandable, just kind of dumb it down. Broaden the spectrum so that you don't have to go through 5 or 6 hoops to create your choice being fulfilled. The last time I went to this program, I chose prayer meditation for 40 minutes a day. And I didn't say I'm going to do X, Y, Z. I said included but not limited to all of the above. So it could be affirmations, it could be writing in my journal, it could be prayer, it could be even music. Prayer through instrument like a guitar or a banjo on my lap. Singing could be included in this 40 minutes. So the 40 minutes or 30 minutes or 500 words a day if you're writing, make it simple so that it can include a variety of things and not step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Make sense? Right. Number 4. So number 5 is doable. So, and one way to think of this is your worst day ever. Can you still fulfill this choice? 11:01 p.m. and you've got until midnight to honor your word, honor your discipline, and all heck is breaking loose around you. You make a commitment to 2 hours a day, probably not going to happen. You've got 59 minutes. So what I want to look for here when it comes to doable is a minimum standard when it comes to your choice. Minimum might be 10 minutes. It might be 15 minutes. That doesn't mean you won't exceed that more often than not. Doesn't mean you won't exceed that 6 days a week. But your worst day of the week, let's make it doable in the sense that all chaos is breaking out around you. You can still honor, you can still fulfill, you can still do this choice. So in the frame of exercise, if I had made it 2 hours a day, I am absolutely certain there are days this would not have happened. I would have set myself up to lose, and it would not have been a doable choice. So look at where you are right now and resist the temptation to go from 0 to 60 on day 1. Look at worst case scenarios and wherever you're at. If you think you might be overshooting that, go down by 50%, even down by 75% so that you've got a minimum standard, a doable choice. Number 6, and this is our last criteria of choice, and it's this, it's specific. So what do I mean by that? Specific means it's measurable. Someone outside of you can come in and say, yes, this happened. Let me give you an example. A good friend of mine made her choice. She said, okay, my choice is I'm going to be happy every day. Well, let's check that as far as criteria. Is it something she's not doing? Well, probably. Is it something personal? Probably. Is it something that's one choice? Sounds like it. Is it simple? Well, simply stated, sure. Is it doable? Well, that's a big question mark. Here's the biggest question mark when it comes to being happy every day. Is it specific? In other words, can I come and say, outside person looking in, you are happy 24 hours a day, every second of the day. So it probably misses on both of these criteria. It's probably not doable. But even if it is doable, how will we measure it? How will we know? How would you even know that you are happy every day? So look at it something as specific. So it might look like something like, for 20 minutes a day, I'm going to focus my mind on positive affirmations. For 20 minutes a day, I'm going to read something inspirational, educational, something that is, I can control. There's another thing when it comes to personal. I'm kind of jumping around here. But when it comes to personal, make sure that you control it. It's not dependent on outside forces. Somebody else doesn't have to be around for you to do your discipline. Because what happens here, if that person's not around, or if that environment's not around, or if the structure for that is not around, it's impossible for you to do your discipline. We want this set up as a game for you to control whether or not you do your personal discipline. So I know I'm jumping around here, but I'm sure you can stay with me here. Let's wrap it up. Number one is something you're not doing. Pretty simple. You know if you're doing it, you know if you're not doing it. Or maybe something you're not doing consistently. If you're exercising once a week and you want to bump that up to a minimum standard 7 times a week, great. If you're reading a couple days a week and you want to bump that up to a daily, remember it's every day for 40 consecutive days, something you're not doing or not doing consistently. Something personal, that means you control it. We just talked about that. That means it comes from your core, and that means nobody else gives it to you. It's a personal choice. For the purpose of this exercise, we'll focus on less is more. That means you focus on one choice. Doesn't mean you won't make other choices. You probably will. You'll pay attention to that. You'll pay attention to the ripples and the breakthroughs by focusing on the power of 1. 4 is something simple so that you get a sense of, hey, there are many ways I can accomplish this. There are many ways to make this happen. It's simple. It's broad enough so I can put a lot of stuff in there. There's not 5 or 6 or 10 different steps. I got a simple, doable choice, which is number 5, doable. Can you do this on your worst day ever? Because believe me, during this 40 days, you will be challenged. You will be tested. There will be days when you simply don't want to do it. On days like this, is it doable? And can I measure it? Can I come in and say, can anybody come in and say, yes, you did your choice this day? Check your choice with these 6. And for those of you that fall into some of my best friends category, this area of perfectionism, the last thing I want to leave you with, now that you've got these 6 choices, you may be thinking, now what am I going to do? I got these 6 choices, I got the 6 criteria, I got to make the perfect choice. This is a trap. And in fact, we might put this number 7, is don't worry about the perfect choice. Don't worry about the perfect choice. A little bonus criteria here. Choose something that's close enough. Close enough is truly close enough. It's not the rest of your life. It's 40 days. It's a 40-day discipline. So don't worry about making the perfect choice. This is one of the biggest things that stops people from taking action. They wait for the time to be perfect. They wait for the weather to be perfect. They wait for money to be perfect. They wait for it's never going to be perfect. Take one, choose it, do it for the next 40 days. Pay attention the way the program supports you in doing, and I promise you'll get all 4 of those breakthroughs that we have outlined for you in the program. If you need more information on this and you're not there yet, or you're just tossing it around, go to www.highachievers.com/40 days, 40 days. If you have any questions for me, you can shoot me an email, support@highachievers. I'll get it, and I will personally respond to you and support you any way I can. Choose powerfully, choose simply, and most importantly, choose right now. One simple choice can change the course of your life. I'm excited to be a part of it. Please keep me in touch of your progress, your struggles, and your breakthroughs. God bless.